Good day, everyone. I hope you're doing great today. For those who don't know me, my name is Naif Sakampong Ablogadir from BSES 4 NRM2, and together with my partner, Miss Vonavi Acuna, we would like to present and discuss to you guys the topic gender and sexuality. Our topic is very important for us because gender and sexuality are centrally essential forces that shape every aspect of our lives. We know our bodies, minds, and selves through our gender and sex. So we have to talk about this topic because it will increase young people knowledge and improve their attitude related to sexual and reproductive health and behavior. So first is to discuss sex and sexuality. First, let's discuss sex and sexuality. Sex is the term refers to categories of male and female to which people are typically assigned at birth based on the physical characteristic. For example, for male is the genitals. Some people may be assigned intersex when their reproductive or sexual or genetic biology doesn't fit the traditional definition of both male or female. Moreover, the source of sexual learning it includes parents first, friends, religion, culture, media, environment, law, school, teacher, books, and etc. The most important thing to understand about sexuality will is that it is self-defined. That is, a very every person is allowed to talk about and understand their own sexuality in their own way that makes sense to them. Sexuality is a dynamic and always changing. Often we may discover that different parts of our lives may interact with each other in confusing and affirming ways. This is okay and it's part of our normal development. Sexuality is an important and central part of the human being. A person's sexuality includes everything from their biological sex, gender identity, and sexual orientation to pregnancy and reproduction. While sexuality can include all of this dimension, not only them are always expressed or experienced. Sexuality is influenced by interaction of biological, physiological, social, economic, political, cultural, ethical, and legal, historical, religious, and spiritual factors. Exploring our own sexuality rooted within principle of consent and sexual right is the key determinant our health and willingness. And my partner, Miss Vunavi Acuna, will discuss the sexual orientation and identity, and also, lastly, the sexual preferences. Thank you.
So, good day. I am here to discuss the sexual orientations and identity, also the sexual preferences. Um, sexual sexual orientations and identity are commonly known as SUJI, which stands for sexual orientation. GI stands for gender identity, and E stands for expression. Why do we need to know a youth's SUJI? Similar to other parts of our identity, like race and ethnicity, Suji matters. Suji is an important piece of our identity that can determine and shape our needs and experiences. Also, it has become one of the main reference terms to describe the LGBT or lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community. So, Suji is not a culture or tradition based because it is identifying one's gender or yourself. I know it must be hard to identify your true gender because there are quite a lot of different genders which I will discuss later on, but on this topic, we must apply the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, because not what we see is the true identity of a person, and maybe you're asking why Suji is made. It is because to help or to lessen or to avoid stereotypes, but let's be honest, in our time or current situation right now, or what we call modern time, is that it's hard to avoid stereotyping because we can force other people to change their perspective. But if we could learn our Suji, maybe some will have a different point of view. Sexual orientation is an inherent or immutable, enduring emotional, romantic, or sexual attraction to other people. Gender identity is one's gender identity can be the same or different from their sex assigned at birth. Gender expression is an external appearance of one's gender identity, usually expressed through behavior, clothing, haircut, or voice. Sexual orientation is who you are attracted to. Is it the same sex of yours or the opposite sex? And gender identity is what you are deep within yourself. Also, gender expression is that how you express yourself in a certain situations. So, it's important for us to know our gender expression. And gender expression has three types. It is a masculine or your manly character, feminine or womanly character, and androgyny or either. So, it must be hard for us to identify our gender expression, but we can identify it by recording yourself on a video, how you act, how you talk, or your behavior like that. And then, or if not, you can ask your friends how you handle things, how you react, so that you are aware on your gender expressions. So the next topic would be the Suji spectrum. So Soji spectrum, the assigned sex at birth, or what we knew as male or female, is or intersex. And then there's a sexual orientation, or who you are, is that homosexual or heterosexual, or either bisexual or asexual. It is how you view or you identify yourself. And also on gender identity, it is, are you a woman or a man, or a gender queer or a transgender? And on gender expression, are you a feminine or a masculine or a gender neutral? So the next part would be a sexual preferences. It largely overlaps with sexual orientations, but it is generally distinguished in psychological research. So how could we um, know our um, true identity, um, or our gender identity? There's a lot of gender here, which is the LGBTQIAAP. So I must discuss it to you one by one, and you can learn, or you can categorize yourself on any of these, so that you are aware of who you are deep within you and your sexual preferences also. So for the LGBTQIAAP, the first letter is the L, which is the lesbian. It is a woman who is primarily attracted to women. And the second one is the gay, a man who is primarily attracted to men. And bisexual, an individual attracted to their own people or the opposite sex. For me, lesbian and gay is quite similar, because you are a woman, but you are attracted to your same sex. And also for the gay, because when you're a woman, you dress like a lady also, but you are attracted to your same sex. You put makeup, but you dated women also. It and also the same for a gay. And also for the transgender, it is a person whose identity is different from their assigned sex at birth. So it is a person who wears a different wardrobe from their assigned sex at birth. um, for example, your assigned sex at birth, like me, is that I'm a female, I'm a woman, but I dress up like a man, so I can be considered as a transgender. And also vice versa, if you're a man, you dress like a woman, you are considered as a transgender. And for a transsexual, it is for the people who have permanently changed their gender identity through surgery and hormones. This is this is where you could I could give you some example, like if you're a man, you wish or you've gone through a surgery where you have a breast implant. So you are considered as a transsexual. And if you're a woman, you have a breast implant. I mean, gipatanggal mo yung mga boobs. So, nana ka sa transsexual nga kuan. And para pa ng kuan kanang uban nga nagpa ang ilahang penis ilang gipa change sa vagina mo gyapon na transsexual gyapon na sila. So for the queer, it is an umbrella term to be more inclusive of the many identities and variations that make up the LGBT plus community. Also, questioning. It is the process of exploring and discovering one's own sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression. For the questioning, it is where you have questioned yourself, your true identity of who you are attracted to, like that. So, right now, if you are not sure about yourself, about your true identity, um, you can be put on the questioning because you're on the process or you're on a path that you are discovering your own identity on who you are deep within yourselves. And for the intersex, it is a general term used for a variety of conditions in which a person is born with a reproductive or sexual anatomy that doesn't seem to fit the typical definitions of female and male. Ally is a typically a non-queer, a person who supports the advocate for the queer community. Also, it is person who is willing to help to promote gender equality, and these are the person who do not discriminate other genders. And for the asexual, it is an individual who generally does not feel sexual desire or attraction to any group of people. For me, my own understanding, this is the persons who don't feel attracted. Like for example ako wala ko ka for example wala for example ako kanang for example ako kanang never in my life na-attract ko sa person like sa laki ba na, sa same sex ba na ko ang girl, or say transgender, or katong nagpakuan na. Mo na siya nga mga person kanang never gud nga naka-attract, naka-get og sexual desire sa other people. So, if inana ka nga type of person, you are considered as asexual. And for the pansexual, it is a person who experiences sexual, romantic, physical, or spiritual attraction to members of all gender identities and expression. So, pansexual is that, for example, if man ka, ay hindi ako na lang. For example, ako, woman man ko. I consider myself as a woman. So, kanang, diba, sa atong society, if you're a woman, you should date a man. But for the pansexual, if I'm a woman, I can date man, gay, lesbian, any kinds of genders. Kanang murag wala ko pili. Kanang inana like if ma-attract ka ng person, dana. So inana pansexual ka, dana ka ma-consider ka sa pansexual. So if right now, if gaka-consider ni wala gaka-attract ko ani nga gender, kanang ma-attract ka sa gay, ma-attract ka sa lesbian, ma-attract ka sa man, ma-attract ka sa woman, ma-attract ka sa transgender, sa transsexual, ana-ana. So, na-fit ka sa pansexual. So, thank you for listening, and we hope that you have gained or learned something new, and that you guys already identify your true identity on who you are attracted to. Because for me, it is not an easy job or task to do. Dagan pa kag process agian aron ma-identify gid nimo kung unsa gyud ka or what kind of person you are, kanang aha gyud ka attracted kay labo na karon sa to situation. But labo na sa to situation karon nga murag grabe na gid kay ang kanang LGBTQ+, ana. Pero sometimes mas better nga imo gyud i-learn kung imo yung i-learn kung how you gonna belong, dili kay musabay lang ka sa society. I mean, musabay lang ka sa uso. Like, ning uso ni sudani ko. No, kay importante kay na siya. Importante kay na siya sa to. So, para ma-avoid na to ang kuan, ma-avoid na to maka-hurt sa other people, other genders, and then ma-avoid pod nga ma-discriminate ka. So, that's all. Thank you and God bless.